Hello everyone. Today we're back again with another episode of SkyFactory 4, episode 2. When we last left off, I told you I was going to make some grout so we could start the Tinker's Construct mod. And I got a little bit of the gravel and sand and clay. I expanded the chest a little bit, changed out these crafting tables for a crafting bench. Now, I did accidentally make some grout without showing you guys, so it's right here. I realized that I should have shown the recipe. There are two ways to do this recipe. You can do it with either clay in the broken down form or in the block. I prefer the block version just because, there we go. So now we have 2 stacks of grout, so 2 stacks and 48 grout. Now, the best part about this is that it has a really weird rate of return. So 1 entire block of grout, which is formed from a piece of clay, the sand and the gravel, turns into 1 seared brick. It takes 4 seared bricks to make a single seared stone brick, meaning you have to get 4 times the amount of blocks. So instead of making 27, you have to get a bigger number than I feel like doing, like 100 or something. I don't know. And then we just wait. These are just visual glitches, by the way. I don't know why the light does not show up. It just does what it does. So you may notice I have some apples. Apples fall from oak trees, as most of you know. So I looked up something called apple sapling, which you get when you plant apple seeds. So if you click on the apple seed recipe, you just have to put an apple into a crushing tub and jump on it, like so. I'm only going to do one. You get the apple seed, you can plant it, and then I have some bone meal so I can show you. It grows into a normal apple sapling, which I have quite a few of. There we go. I have a bunch of the apple saplings, and you can't shift or sprint grow these like the normal ones. You have to wait until they grow, and then once they do grow, I'll break one down real quick just so you guys can see. Even if I use the crook, it does not drop any apples. You have to wait until the tree is ripe, I think is the word, the real term for it. So I initially, when I grew the first tree, I waited pretty much half a day. I went to bed, woke up, did my tasks, and then I tore the tree down, and it gave me a bunch of apples. The 46, 47 that I had earlier. It does work, you just have to make sure that you leave the tree alone for a bit, so I'm probably going to expand a little bit over that way towards the moon right now. I will make a little area just for apples to grow. Alright, so I just cut and I started expanding that way, and I went to vein mine all of the wooden slabs on this, and apparently, despite the fact that some of them were bottom and some of them were tops, and it's supposed to only do one, it decided to do all the bottom ones, and it included my entire island. You'll see when we're loading into some of the dimensions later that one of the tips it says is to never excavate your floor. I suppose that means I have broken the #1 rule of SkyFactory. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and fix this up. I did decide, I measured it out, I was counting with slabs. I'm going to do it this way. I'm gonna do a 3 wide path with probably stone on the outsides and then wood in the middle. I was going to move the water source so that this wasn't blocking the path, but now here we are fixing it. So alright, so I had realized while I was falling earlier that I had my F3 screen on. I apologize for the entire video being that so far. On the bright side, you can see how many frames per second I get. So all of the grout is done except for the 48 that I kept in my inventory. Now that we have the seared bricks, we are going to make the first piece of the smeltery. And as soon as I'm putting items in there, I'm going to start expanding it. The one I like, I think, is the biggest one, which is like a 7x7 or a 9x9 or something. I like the big smelteries. I think it's cool. And I like to do the ones that are like the seared glass and all that. I think they look quite nice. So now we're going to make the first seared drain. We're not going to make more than one just because it is... You don't really need more than one. We don't have enough items to be doing. This is the smeltery controller, which is, as the description states, the brain of the smeltery. It essentially is what makes the smeltery work. The seared drain is what you use to drain items out of the smeltery. Thinking in hindsight, I should have figured out how to make lava, seeing as how the smeltery requires lava to work. And... no? Why? What's wrong with it?
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Oh, I forgot. I need a tank. The tank is where the lava goes. I was just talking about that. So, yeah, it requires lava for it to work. You have to put lava into the tank. Otherwise, it won't do anything. There it is. Okay, so we need a piece of glass, just some of the bricks. So if we grab one of the sand blocks here, we'll just do one for now. Again, later in the game, I'm going to make a bigger one. I like to do the biggest one possible. And then I put everything except for this as a see-through object. these two because they can't be see-through. That way when you have just, you know, like 1,000 blocks of iron or something in there, you just see the huge amount of liquid inside of the case. Alright, so now we have the tank. There we go. Okay, so I should now figure out how to make lava. Oh yeah, okay. If you've ever played the other SkyFactories, you will remember that there was a few ways to make lava. My favorite one was actually using netherrack, because it had the biggest return, and you could use mystical agriculture, that mod, in order to make it. But now they changed it so that you have to put a cauldron over a heat source. Alright, so the one risk with this is that as soon as you get the lava, it has a chance of spawning fire. Luckily it's raining, as much as I hate it. So there we go. Oh, that burns the buckets. That's unfortunate. I'm going to go ahead and just make a few more buckets. We don't really need them because we're about to get iron pretty soon. Now the next thing we need to do is get iron. Technically what I did in my last series, we can use this coffee cup and smelt it, only because it is made out of iron. You can see right here, so if you put it into a smeltery, it'll give you 6 ingots, which is exactly what we need is molten iron, but we're not going to do it this time. We're going to try to do it the legitimate way that they want us to do it, unless that was intended, and in that case I'm just going to do a little bit more extra work. I'm going to actually make the basin real quick. Okay, so a basin is what everything goes into. So we need one basin, and then I think the other way is how you make, yeah, the casting table. These two things are probably one of the most useful things again. Sorry. I'm gonna cut and figure out how to turn that off. And that. Okay, and we're back. Sorry about that. As you all know by now, I'm not used to having my computer used for recording purposes or streaming even. Okay, so now we need to make the iron amber, which I'm going to look up real quick. Iron amber is created from these things, which is gravel, clay, sand, and coal resin. The one thing we do not have is coal resin. So we should make a coal tree, which I believe was really easy. I looked it up earlier. Yeah, you just take a birch sapling and you smelt it. To get a birch sapling, you just put the sand sapling into water. So, to have enough water for one. Cool, but I need more. Go ahead and snatch these. Hey, they do stack. Great. Now we have the birch saplings. We're just going to put them all in one. The very, very bad bridge that I made is here. Again, I'm not a builder. But this is what it looks like so far. I'm thinking about using cobblestone pieces, making it look like a puzzle piece, so it'll have whatever the platform is made out of popping out, and then the cobblestone will look like it's fitting into it, and then at the very end it'll be like another puzzle piece where it has it fitting into the next piece. I think it looks kind of okay. I don't think it's the best per se, but maybe I'll get into building one day, look at some tutorials, and learn how to actually build with skill instead of what I do now. Either way. Alright, now at least one should be done. Hey, they're all done. Great. I did do a bunch of bone trees while I was waiting for those to smelt. We now have a bunch of the bone meal. Got some coal pieces. Do we have any coal amber? That's from the wood, not from the actual tree. Okay, there we go. Got 21 amber. So that's more than enough to make my very first piece of iron amber, which is what I need to start everything else in the series. Alright, let's see if we can make it. Perfect. And now we just go ahead. That's a weird achievement name. I really don't know what that's supposed to be about. So we're going to go ahead and make that smelt. And while we're waiting, we're going to figure out how to make an iron sapling. Put it in the casting table. You need an acacia sapling. So I need to put... Oh, an apple sapling. Perfect. I have a few of those. You have water in you. Perfect. So go ahead and place this right here. Is this almost done? Yes, it is. Alright. And then pour. What is the next achievement while we're waiting for this to do its thing? Alright, so we're gonna make tin next. We will make a piece of coal just for the achievement. So we're gonna make tin after this. Right now we have iron, which is perfect because iron is essentially what starts everything that is automated. Wow, I didn't have to do much of anything. So now we go ahead and break this down. There we go, make some iron amber. Now the one good thing I'll add about this is I had acorns in there, okay. Since we don't have gold yet, I cannot make anything that is like an ingot cast or gem or jewel cast. I have to wait until I get the gold. However, they do have the basins instead of the tables. So if I just put enough iron amber in there, eventually it will turn into a block. And then the block, it's 2 per amber, by the way. So we'll have 3 total. That's 1/3 of what we need to make a block. Once we get 2 more amber, maybe some of the resin if it's not going to give me enough acorns, I can start automation, which is mainly just the bonsai plants and stuff, which I will show all of you in a moment. But first, we need to grow some of this. Alright, so now we should have more than enough iron, amber, acorn, and resin to make the blocks. Ugh, I don't like how it's not first. What? Oh, the trees. Haha. How did I know that? I don't have it. Technically, I could put amber, I think, into here. I believe it does smelt. Yeah, it smelts, but it only gives you 1 ingot instead of 2 when you do it in there. So I think the smeltery is much more worth it. So you can see, since I only have a 3x3x1, it only fits 9 blocks in it. But that's still 18 ingots right there, so very much worth it. Technically, if I don't want to click stuff in, I could just throw it, and then once there's available space, it'll autofill. Not auto shift, what? Alright, so here we go. We're getting the block out right now. After this, I will do the tin. I should probably look up how to make a tin sapling first. Alright, so we need to put a birch sapling, which I think we get from dirt? No, sand. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get the sand sapling out now. There we go. We got our first iron block. I don't know how much iron is in here. A little bit over a block. Will there be more than a block after this? Nope. Okay, so we'll have to wait until we get some more to pour some more out. That's okay, because we're not focused on that right now. We are focused on the tin. We have the sapling for it. We need to put it into the casting table. Figure out how to get the amber. Tin amber, we need flint, clay, bone, and gravel. Oh, well, we have all that. At least I hope so, otherwise this would be really awkward. Oh, I forgot the actual piece of flint. Wow, good job, me. Go ahead and place this in there. We now have 2 molten tin ingots. Gonna go ahead and pour that out. We'll have to grow more iron later. That sounds weird to say. We'll have to grow iron. What? Alright, so we now have the tin. I'm just gonna grow it real quick just in case we need it later down in the path. We are going to take the iron and we're going to begin that. So I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go ahead and get as much iron as I can until I get bored out of my gourd. That, I don't say words like that. That was weird. And then I'll be back. Alright. Go ahead and do this. Make a piece of coal. Achievement unlocked. And I'll be right back. We need to do all these. So most of these will be easy. Yeah, I'm going to prep all this while I'm gone. Be right back. And we're back. So I went ahead and I got some more iron amber. Now it should be real easy to go ahead and smelt this up. I'm gonna be a little bit lazy and just chuck those in there. The apple tree did grow. I'm not sure how long it's been. I'm going to hit a leaf or two to see if I get any apples. Alright, so I don't think it's ready yet. I really don't know how long it's supposed to be. So I should be okay enough to survive. I'll break it down, I guess, when all the apples run out, or I run to like the last 10. Alright, so once these are done, I'm going to go ahead and get the iron. The next step is to start getting lead and lapis and slime trees and all that. What I'm going to do is show you guys something pretty cool. It is the caps lock button, apparently. Turn that off. It is something called the bonsai plants. If you've ever seen like a bonsai tree, you've seen like Karate Kid or anything, you'll know what a bonsai tree is or looks like. In the game, you make it out of bricks, which you get by smelting clay, and then you put that with a hopper, and essentially it's literally, you don't have to cut the trees down, you don't gotta plant the trees, you put them in once, you put them with a chest, you put them with the bonsai, you put them with the dirt. You walk away. You come back, and it'll be grown, it'll be done. All you gotta do is harvest it from the chest. Like, if you need the resources, you don't even gotta actually do it yourself. You literally just pick it up, walk away, and forget that it ever existed until you need it again. It's a little bit different than what it normally is. There's no, like, the mystical agriculture and all that. I'm not sure what it's called in this mod pack. Is it still called mystical? Yeah, so they still have mystical agriculture, and it does have, like, the copper and the tin and all those kinds of crops still. But it just kind of feels like doing it is more of a waste of time now. It's better to just go down the path to get all the cool essences, whatever, and, you know, get like the cool armor and the swords and all that. But for purposes of getting objects that you can use to get just a bunch of resources, it doesn't really serve much of a purpose anymore. We're going to mute that. Managed to mute the computer, but I couldn't mute my phone. Typical teenager. Alright, so this should be done. Yeah, there's now 4 blocks of iron in here. Something cool, you can put a redstone clock or signal above this or on this, and it will make this continuously pump out. And if you put like a hopper underneath the cauldron basin, it'll auto-collect everything. So, the should be more than 5 clay done. Yeah, there's about 16. So if we go ahead and make as many of these as we can. We made 3. Can we make this yet? We can. Alright, I'm going to get a little bit of a detour, but only because it should make this much easier. Alright, so we go ahead and do this. This is it's called the chest builder, and essentially it just allows you to create much more storage. Alright, so it takes clay, which we have, fence, and iron in it, and literal chests. So we just put it all to the max settings. I just do the same color for everything. I think it's much easier. So we go ahead and get some iron here. I'm not sure how big of one I can make. I need 64 for that size, so I'm going to go ahead and shrink down the column. Go ahead and do that. So I'm going to put the first tree is going to literally just be the iron tree, since apparently that's what I need the most right now. So what we do is we go ahead and place a compact chest right here. We'll just place it on the edge for now. A bonsai plot. Yeah, I'm going to make the hopping bonsai first. The bonsai, normally, what it does is when it grows, you just right click it with an axe in your hand and it'll pick it up. It's a good system, it's just not automatic, so it's not as good. But with a hopping bonsai, when you make it, it literally, wait, was that in, oh, okay, I guess that's in Age of Farming. Didn't even realize that the first time. Either way. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and place it down. It does take a little bit of time to grow sometimes. This is how big the chest is, by the way. The maximum size chest normally reaches out a bit more to the sides. But yeah, so we're going to let this grow. It says it on average. It takes 30 seconds for each one to grow on regular dirt. Now, there is a way using a thing called mulch, which is in the same mod pack, I believe, as the bonsais are. Inspirations, is that what it's from? No. Well, they are just 2 compatible mods then. You can literally take any type of brown dye or cocoa beans and put sticks on them, and then you make brown mulch, and it makes the growth rate go up. You can see it says 142, and then the drop chance of everything goes up 40%. And then you can progress all the way through here. Blue mulch, I think, is the strongest. Yeah, blue mulch is just simply overpowered. Once you get that, you've pretty much already beat the game. It's just pretty much something to use to flex on people. So we can see now it's already grown. If you go into here, you can see the chances. The acorns have 50%, the iron resin has 35%, which I feel like is a lie, because I always run out of resin before I run out of acorns. It'll be automatic. You can actually limit how much is dropped if you just drag them all down. And then once these all fill up, it'll still leave these slots open after all these lines fill up. So you can make it so that no wood or anything will drop if you just take it out and then make an entire chest full of all of the items that you want. But until then, you just kind of have to wait. Alright, so we are back. I have already gotten 58 amber. Now we're going to go ahead and craft the rest of it. Now I have a total of 67 amber. I'm going to go ahead and click all that in and then just drop the rest and wait a little bit. I did decide that I was no longer going to do petrified saplings. I'm actually going to chuck all these in a minute, because I forgot that we have a thing called a cobblestone generator. And if you just get a bucket of lava and a bucket of water, you can actually craft it with 6 cobblestone and a piece of glass, I believe. So I put some cobblestone to the side there. Just need to get a piece of glass. Here we go. Just do this. There we go. So now we have our first cobblestone generator. If we just put this next to a chest, I believe. Nope. Okay, so okay, I remember now. We need an item transfer node to make that work. So for now, it'll hold 32 cobblestone. Whenever I need it, I can just run over and grab it. So we're going to go ahead and make a bucket once we get a little bit more of this iron out. Here we go. Get a bucket. Go ahead and put that there. No, in fact, a bucket is not a helmet. I'm glad the game has realized that. Fill that up, and let that finish melting. Over here, we have enough for maybe a few more pieces of amber, but I did remember that we can also just chuck the acorns and resin in by themselves, and I believe they have the same yield as they would if they weren't crafted or were. So go ahead and let that do that. We now have a bunch more cobblestone, so I can start building this path out more. It's been way too long. You can see how many apples I've eaten from when we started this video. I'm going to tear this tree down and hope that it gives me some more apples. Was that like 4 more apples? That was it? Alright, so yeah, we're definitely going to have to build this out a bit more. Maybe put some dirt there, and then technically we can just do this to the apple tree now, but I don't think I have the resources. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and place one down anyways with a normal chest. This will be, you can see it's much smaller than that one. It's okay because it's just going to be for apples. We're going to go ahead and once it gets enough, I'm going to dump out everything else inside the chest just so we can get apples and only apples forever, because at this point we have not enough food. Alright, so I think all trees have the same average grow time. See this with it, because this one has apples in the tree. And the other one, when it was over there, doesn't at all. Like, you can... There's nothing. I don't know what will make it do it if I oopsie. If I use bone meal on it, maybe? Oh! Well, now the bonsai seems like a waste of time. Alright, well, either way, I'm gonna keep the bonsai for now, just in case I forget the bone meal. Now we're going to work towards the next piece, which is lapis. So if we go ahead and look up the lapis sapling. Yeah, we'll do a water bottle and a dark oak sapling. How do we get that? We need to put a coal and water. We now have a dark oak sapling. We need to get a water bottle, so we need 3 pieces of sand. This is a really long process. I should build this up soon. That'll be the next thing I do. I believe I can use the, I don't know if it's the same thing or not. I can use regular seared stone, because it does say part of the smeltery, and then seared bricks say part of the smeltery. So I believe I can just put cobblestone in there eventually, and then just do it with the cobblestone that are seared instead of the bricks. It should cost a little bit less resources. Hey, I got some apples already. Alright, perfect. So we're going to go ahead, actually, and take all this out. Put the apples in here. And there you go. I wonder if I could bone meal these leaves before they despawn. I can. Perfect. Let's just do that until I run out of bone meal. That'll keep me fed in the game for a little bit. 30 apples with the dark oak sapling. Did the glass finish smelting? It did. If we go ahead and make the glass bottle, or the glass bottle's right over there. And then, is there enough in here to get one? Yes. Haha. I finally got that thing empty without having to break it. Go ahead and do that. And achievement unlocked. Lapis. I do believe we have a need for lapis when it comes to enchanting, so I will grow this one just a little bit. Alright. So now that we have the lapis, we're moving on. We're not going to do blue slime, because I remember that was a pain earlier. Redstone might be doable. Iron resin, petrified, and a flower. Alright, I believe you can craft grass seeds. And there it is. I completely forgot about that cauldron. Alright, so what we have to do to get grass, you don't get seeds, you just get grass. So you put water in here, and then I believe you put a leaf. That's why leaves are handy for a little bit, but then after this they're really not. So you put a leaf in there, and then, no? Is there dirt in there? Okay, and then I think now you put a leaf in there. Yeah, and then we get grass blocks. We only need the grass blocks for the flowers right now, so I'm only going to get 4, because that's how many mud it makes. We're just going to throw them down real quick. I'm only going to throw down 3 of them. And then bone meal them a few times until I get, hopefully, a piece of rose. Alright, so now we go ahead and put this in here, get some dye. Alright, and then if we do this, bam, redstone. I am not that good at redstone, but I do really like the concepts we can do behind them, so you will see me try to do some stuff with redstone, probably a little bit in this series. If I ever do a normal Minecraft series, you'll see much more, because I love to make stuff. Alright, we're gonna make a lead sapling now for Let It Go achievement. That's a little weird, but Alright, oh, that reminds me. Lapis, certain things do not turn into amber, like lapis acorns makes a lapis block. Lapis acorns and resin make amber. The amber is only useful for making molten lapis, which you have to put through a bunch of other things to even get a single use out of it. So making amber becomes useless, and resin is just now a waste of time for certain blocks. It's really weird. I think diamonds are the exact same way. I don't understand why, but it's just the way that it is. So whatever. Go ahead and do that. Now we have some lead amber. Let it go. All right, Elsa. So it's gonna go ahead and do its thing. Then we're gonna have a lead sapling. It says it up there in the recipe. Led Zeppelin. That one is the one I actually get. Finally. I don't want that there. Alright, so I'll just do that. And then what is after the lead? Silver and gold. Alright, so gold is the next big step. So we already completed all of this. I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here. We'll come back and I will do everything I need to do to get some of this stuff automated. I'm probably going to get a lot more iron and clay just so I can make a bunch of these bonsai trees out in that direction. Yeah. So until then, I will see you guys all in the next episode.